Hey, what is up, guys? Zone here. So today, I'll be giving you the new contents I came up with, and that is champion or character spotlights. So today, the first character I'm gonna be highlighting for today is one of my favorite tanks right now, and I'm talking about Superalloy Blackluster.
いい加減にしてください。
So first off, let's talk about how well he is in PvE and PvP. For me, it's only for me, okay? He is a 10 out of 10 in PvE and PvP. In PvE, he is a really good tank. That's how good he is. He doesn't really need much. He doesn't need to cast a skill. He can make your units tanky enough to survive earlier rounds, and which is also something that is really useful in PvP, especially if there's a lot of burst type units. He can actually try to at least lessen the damage that your specific units can take, and then they could still, especially if it's on the damage dealer, you could still have that damage output if they don't die. That's why this passive of Alloy is actually a really good one for PvE or PvP. So next up, let's talk about what gears is gonna be good for Super Alloy. I think Alloy's best gear would be Scholar, uh, suit or casual, and battle. So when you run this gears, it's important that it's either you run HP defense percentage, HP block percentage, defense block percentage, and such. Anything that needs tankiness, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but you know the percentages on what tanks should have. So there's not much I should tell you. So let's just go in depth on the gears. We obviously know that healings for the scholars, and then suit and casual, and then you could actually use battle for more HP for a bit more tankiness for your alloy, especially if he basic attacks. He has this shield, so the more HP you have, the thicker the shield will be. It's like you forgot something. You forgot to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. You should do it. No skipping. So next up, let's be talking about which are the units Alloy is strong against. So this is actually really debatable, but I think Alloy excels on against early game burst heroes. If you have two tanks, Alloy or tank top, you could put Alloy at the back line instead, just like what I do. And for me, this actually makes my main carries live longer than when Alloy is not there. I think because of this 40% ult damage reduction, most burst type units fail to instantly delete your backlines or any row where Alloy is placed, because it's just really good. And yeah, that's why I think Alloy is the best tank if you want to prevent burst type units from getting near your tanks or your carries. I think he's really strong against those. So next up, let's talk about heroes that will actually be able to match up with Alloy. So first off, let's say Tank Top Master.
Are you sure about that?
Because this is especially if you want to have protection for your backlines, you want another tank. And the next good unit to have to protect front lines is Tank Top Master, so that you could run Alloy in the back line and still you could protect your main damage dealers with that ult damage reduction, while Tank Top can protect the front lines with his raw tenacity. So next up, the next hero that will be really, really good with Alloy is Carnage Kabuto. I think Carnage Kabuto is one of the most annoying tanks to deal with because of the damage reflection. And imagine that if he does not die immediately, I think this is really good. Even though if you want that reflect damage to be strong, it is also important to make Carnage Kabuto live a bit longer so that you could deal more damage. Because um, if Kabuto gets burst down, I think the passive no longer procs. So you just need Alloy to at least secure that Carnage Kabuto does not die immediately on the first or the few rounds from the skirmish. So next up, what's good with Alloy as well is Deep Sea King. I think one of the best cores to have if you were very lucky with tank units is Deep Sea King core. And I think Alloy will be very, very good with that since there's damage reflection on that, and then Alloy synergizes with Deep Sea King. What the hell? Uh, Deep Sea King will live longer, but he'll get that HP. He will have as minimal. You can use Alloy to make him not die, so that you could maximize his ult damage with as low HP as Deep Sea King can get without actually dying, so that you could actually deal that big damage for the enemy. So I think I can't mention others, but for me, there's three main units that could possibly go well with Alloy. Since Alloy is a tank, he mostly goes well with almost any kinds of team comp. So this is the last part where I talk about some extra infos about Darkshine. So if you're asking if he's gonna be a really, really good unit in the late game, I think Alloy does not mold as a unit. It's just that in the release of Silver Fang, I think Alloy is gonna be a weaker version because Silver Fang's passive is so much better than Alloy's. But if you're still looking for a good tank until that point, I think Alloy is still gonna be a viable tank, especially if you just want to protect backlines. I think Alloy is gonna be a really, really, really good unit to have, especially in the late game where a lot of people goes for more tankier builds. Um, Next is that who is better as uh, Tank Top Master or Darkshine. I think this is no question that in terms of being a good tank or a great tank right now, Alloy is one of the top tier tanks right now. His skill set is just very good, especially his passive. You won't get that from a Tank Top Master. Tank Top Master is very skill heavy, so Tank Top Master is not as effective if you cannot have that skill cast. So you know what I mean. If he doesn't skill cast, he's almost close to being useless. But Alloy, on the other hand, even if he does not use his skill cast, even if his skill is a really good skill to protect teammates and protect himself, uh, I think it's still a really, really, really good skill. But what separates them is how effective they would be even if they don't have the skill cast. Because let's face it, Most people only give speed items to their main carries. It's not like you're gonna go speed for your tank. So if you're trying to go for a more offensive team, you always want speed on your main carries. So if that's the case, you should find a tank that doesn't require their skill cast to be very, very useful. So I think those are the two questions I'll be talking about Alloy for now. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel right now, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload new One Punch Man content. So I will see you in the next video. Peace out.
いい加減にしてください。